they're hearing from their politicians. So what we offer today is something not brand new, but it is really something that's very exciting right now because there's a receptive ear to it. And that is very simply that freedom works. Freedom is something that is precious. It's precious for us not only because we have a sensible foreign policy, it helps us in our economic policy, but equally important, it means that our personal lives will be our own and that government will be off our back and out of our bedrooms and just on our own. Prompts a program that's been going on for a couple of years and I fought to try to stop and wasn't able to. And that program is called mental health testing of every kid in school. Can you think of anything worse? That has to be stopped. And also, whether there's fear drummed up because of economic conditions or fears drummed up for the various wars around the world or wars against terrorism, it's usually an excuse for those who love big government to just create big government. Just think of all the laws that were passed after 9/11. Most of them had been proposed before 9/11. The war in Iraq certainly was proposed many years before 9/11, and 9/11 was falsely used as the excuse to go over into Iraq. Yep. So, freedoms have been severely undermined, whether it's the Patriot Act, the Military Commissions Act, and the invasion of our privacy, searches without warrant. And now what do we have? It looks like it's on our doorstep. The national ID card. We To me, it's somewhat like those who would attack the Second Amendment. There's crimes in the streets and their use of guns, and obviously the bad people now be put in jail. But what are some of the liberals want to do, and the big government people want to do? They want to come in and register your guns that you use, and you've never committed a crime. That makes no sense. That is what's happening now since 9/11. We're literally registering the American people as if we're going to catch all the terrorists by registering and knowing every single transaction, whether it's a medical transaction, a financial transaction, or literally a travel transaction with this national ID card. The radio frequency identification in these national ID cards can be changed with the Secretary of Homeland Security without permission of the Congress. He can put anything he wants in these national ID cards. Hopefully, this will be stopped because fortunately, various states now have spoken out and saying they will not participate in it. I will make sure that it never gets out. There's one other area that I want to touch on, and that has to do with our national sovereignty. I'm old-fashioned. I believe in national sovereignty. Which means we can start with getting out of the UN. Bank and the WTO. And we certainly ought to put a stop to the North American Union. We don't need a new super NAFTA highway. Responsibility for protecting private property rights, we will make sure that eminent domain is never used to confiscate our land. has done well. We have lost our way. We need to reassert ourselves and do what we can to get ourselves back on track. When we are free and individuals who are allowed to be responsible for ourselves and to be able to keep the fruits of our labor, what this does is then allows us to strive for our own excellence and virtue, which is what life should be all about.
Right.
Government becomes that of making us better people and making the economy run fairly, or policing the world and telling the world how they should live. It can only be done at the expense of personal liberty, and that is why it has to be rejected. Those notions. There's every reason to believe that there's a lot more people will be joining us in this effort, and we should be encouraged. And we should be thankful that we have been blessed by living in this country, and that our traditions are so outstanding compared to many others. I think the Soviets and the Russians have more problems dealing with their breakdown of their empire because they do not have our traditions. We have the traditions of private property and private contracts, and that of sound money. All we have to do is restore something that we have. And we don't have quite the task, and that is not that difficult. And that should be our task. All political action, from my viewpoint, it should be designed for the promotion of liberty.
Here, here.
In Washington that are bound and determined to take their oath of office seriously and say, yes, I will uphold the Constitution and I will work for the cause of liberty, because liberty is what has made America great. There's no reason to be despondent on our outcome, although we do not know what will come. We do not know what tomorrow will bring or the next week. But I am an optimist in the sense that if the message is spread and the people understand it and realize it's in the best interest of all of us to promote this cause, I believe we can be victorious. Thank you very much.